Kentucky remains under a state of emergency. We'll get back to the governor who called on 400 National Guard troops to help people in western and southern Kentucky. We also know 2,300 transportation cabinet staff are working to clear the roads throughout the state. And for that local check, interstates across Kentucky are in the clear, but some of our main roads still questionable. Our Jim Stratman and photojournalist Addie Hill are driving around parts of West Louisville, where some residents say some of their roads they feel aren't getting as much attention.
Yeah, Brooke, we've heard some of those reports for some of those main roads, which are a priority for the snow team. Along Broadway, we were just off of Broadway, and Broadway seemed to be a-okay. A little bit of patchiness here and there, but really what you get when you get onto the side roads, that's where you get a lot of the trouble. I'll take you outside of our weather vehicle right now. You can see what I'm talking about. This road, pardon the bumpy camera, but that's just what we're dealing with at this point because there is so much compacted snow and ice on the roadway right now. We are coming up to a stoplight here on the intersection of Greenwood, and so you can see just how messy some of these roads actually are. We know that the snow team has 110 different routes that they're working on. Main roads are the primary focus, followed by roads that feed into those main roads. After that, you get areas around hospitals, major local companies. Those are the ones that they're going to be focusing on. And so you can see that out here in West Louisville, there are parts, definitely, where you are seeing road conditions really not very good. But some of those main roads, as I mentioned, when we were on Broadway, those look pretty good. So the challenge, and I think this is a challenge not just for people out here in West Louisville, but for people in all ends of Louisville, based on what Addie and I have seen driving around this morning, is going to be getting to those main roads. But once you do, travel shouldn't be too impacted, but we still do suggest that you take it slow and be safe out there. Brooke?
Jim, thank you. We do want to go ahead and head back to the governor now that we have his audio. Just wrapping up a part about the outages. More than 30,000 Kentuckians still in the dark today. Let's listen in.
We need to be looking at whether or not you need to go to the warming center. You certainly need to know where it is. And for people in these counties that have medical devices that require power, please know where your warming center is and go there if needed. Kentuckians, let's remember to continue looking out after our neighbors and our family members. If you have power and a family member doesn't, and they have a medical device that needs power, invite them over. Help them out until power gets up. I think at the worst case scenario, we're looking at several days in some areas, so I think we'll have a lot more power back up tonight. A map of warming centers across the state has been posted by KYEM on their website, kyem.ky.gov. People are encouraged to contact their local emergency management agency prior to arrival if possible. If you do lose power and you can't get to a warming center or other warm places, close blinds and rooms and block cracks under doors with towels to conserve heat, wear layers, and make sure you eat and drink to keep your energy up. Be careful with heat sources. Remember, generator safety is incredibly important. We've already had one fire in the past. In events like this, we've seen carbon monoxide poisoning. It needs to be outside your home at least 20 feet. You need to make sure you have an extension cord that is rated for outside use. And make sure that you don't try to use your oven, your stove, to heat your home. And if you're using open flames, be very careful about where it is, especially those Christmas trees that have dried out over time could be problematic. Now, we're mainly worried about those power outages because it's about to get really cold. We're expecting single-digit temperatures, if we could put that slide up, with sub-zero wind chills stretching from Paducah to Ashland. Temperatures are expected to plunge below freezing today and be especially bitter Thursday and Friday mornings. If you look through there, this is just the temperature without some of the wind chills in it. And look how cold it is in Louisville, for instance, where we reached 3 degrees, and in E-Town, along with Lexington, Somerset, 8 degrees, Thursday morning at 6 a.m. So know that we have at least 2 days of frigid temperatures coming. We need you to be careful to make sure that we make it through these couple of days and that everybody gets through it safely. Later in the week, we're also expecting another blast of wintry weather, though the forecast has gotten better. This is the current forecast, though it's changing a lot from day to day about what we could see on Friday. It would actually start Friday morning, they think.
And we will continue to monitor this, and you can too, with the governor giving that update on the latest snowstorm effects across Kentucky there on WHAS11.com, as we will continue broadcasting that there. We are less than 2 hours away from the Louisville mayor's update on the city's winter storm response. Mayor Craig Greenberg will be joined by JCPS officials to talk about a snow route expansion that should help the district's bus routes. We'll bring you those details online at WHAS11.com and on air beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon. In southern Indiana, outreach programs are stepping up to provide warmth and safety for people without homes. After more than 10 inches of snow fell over Jeffersonville, Catalyst Rescue Mission opened its doors as a warming shelter. The shelter said it saw an influx of people looking for help, with 117 signed in yesterday afternoon.
And there usually is more need than what is available. I mean, sometimes people have literally no place to go. So if you don't have a place to go and you're stuck outside in these frigid conditions, then it's just not safe or healthy or mentally good for you as well.
Staff said they brought in extra mats and are using every available cot, bunk, and couch. The warming shelter will be open through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Meanwhile, Exit Zero is on the move, making multiple trips through Clark County to deliver blankets, coats, hot drinks, and other essential supplies to those experiencing homelessness. The group is also transporting people to the White Flag Shelter in New Albany. You can find a full list of those warming centers throughout Kentucky and online at WHAS11.com. Meanwhile, a local food hall is also stepping up during this cold snap. The Streetery in Beachmont converted its space into a warming center with free food, warm clothes, and a place to sleep. The owner says the one-stop shop is all thanks to generous donations from the community, adding there was never a doubt he was going to do this with how good the community's been to him.
So we're in a spot where we have a lot of people that are in need. From a immigrant that came here, and our family worked so hard to get where we're at, we want to make sure that we pour back into the same community that brought us up.
Now, the business estimates it's helped around 60 people already in the last 2 days. And check out some scenes from Scottsburg, Indiana. You could barely see through yesterday morning's snow. Cleanup continues as the city remains under an orange travel advisory, which means essential travel only. And that means work in emergency situations. City Hall is also closed today. Parts of southern Indiana saw up to a foot of snow. And help is on the way for Kentuckians struggling to keep their homes warm this winter. Applications are open for the state's low-income home and energy assistance program, known as LIHEAP. To qualify, households must fall at or below 150% of the federal poverty guidelines. Applicants will need documents like Social Security numbers, proof of income, and utility bills. Benefits are available on a first-come, first-served basis or until March 15th until funds run out. To apply, we will have a link under the GMK tab on our website. In other news, police are looking for the person responsible for a shooting at a Wendy's on Dixie Highway. It happened right before 11 last night off of West Pages Lane in Valley Station. Metro Police said they found a woman inside the restaurant who'd been shot. They do believe her injuries are non-life-threatening. If you know anything about that, you're asked to call 574-LMPD. And a murder suspect shot by police now in jail on $1 million bond. Police arrested 36-year-old Joshua Miller Sunday, who's accused of shooting and killing a woman in the Park Hill neighborhood earlier that day. According to court documents, Miller's ex-girlfriend and her cousin were picking up their belongings at a home on Cypress Street. While the ex-girlfriend was in the house, Miller allegedly pulled out a handgun and shot her. Miller later returned to the scene and fired a gun at officers in an alleyway. Officers returned fire, hitting him. He is due back in court a week from today.